30-year career in radio, this gentleman is now seen on TBS's Frank TV, CBS's legendary CSI, military thriller The Unit, and as one of the villains, the evil puppet master Eric Doyle on NBC's smash hit Heroes. On radio, the Emmy Award-winning and Clio-nominated David Lawrence hosted The David Lawrence Show online tonight and anchored the Net Music Countdown, which was heard on over 300 radio stations, both XM and Sirius satellite radio. He's at the forefront of the podcasting revolution, having delivered daily real audio and MP3 podcasts via email from early 1994, way back. Lawrence helps other actors create their own voiceover career with his award-winning Demos to Go voice demo service. He teaches voice work workshops at various studios around Los Angeles. Please welcome to the Tweetathon, Mr. David H. Lawrence.
Hey.
How you doing, David?
Blah, 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 blah. Please say more. I can't hear enough about me.
He's Mr. Wonderful. Yes.
So, I'm sitting here watching, and I read the book. You actually sent me a copy of the book, and I read the book, and I want to direct everyone to page 61 in the book, because on page 61, you will see a reproduction of my Twitter page, which now means that because it's in the public, I can never change that page. People will go to that page, and they'll go, that doesn't look anything like what is in Joel's book. So I thank you very much for including me in your book and including me in this. And I want you to know that I'm in for 100 straws.
Well, dude, that is awesome. Did you guys hear that? David Lawrence in for 100 straws.
That's
Thank
what,
you.
It's $1,000?
It is $5 million.
No, come on. What is it?
Yes, $1,000 is going to send 100 straws, and that's 100 lives.
For Quicksilver 2012, my Twitter is DHLawrenceXVII. That's DHLawrenceXVII.
And explain, oops, I think I messed up. I didn't put David H. Lawrence on my tweet. I've got to fix that right now. Because
DHLawrenceXVII.
I'm working on it. Explain while I do this, why XVII?
Well, if people send me an email at davidlawrence@gmail.com, I send them back a big, long, shaggy dog story about why I'm the 17th and all that. It's fun to read, I think. It may be maybe not so much fun to read for people who are better writers than I am. But in the end, I tell the real story, which is when I went on IMDb, when I got my first credit, there were already a bunch of David Lawrences. And when I went to sign up for IMDb, I was the 17th David Lawrence. So then when I went to SAG, I have to pick a name other than David Lawrence, and I thought, well, it'd be kind of cool if it was David H. Lawrence the 17th, or it will be the most horrible decision I've made in my entire career. And what turns out is it's a great way to break the ice with a casting director or a director or a producer. They find it kind of cool, and some of them go, wow, you go back to the medieval times, huh? And I don't disabuse them of that. So, yeah.
We just let them soak in their little fantasy. And,
exactly.
So, dude, your life has changed dramatically since we met. Many, many years ago, probably 7, 8 years ago, we were in a mastermind together, the Cabal, of which we did not speak.
Hold on. Zena Weist asks, wondering why David has so many followers but doesn't follow back. I'll tell you why. Because I don't auto-follow, number one. I think it's stupid. And number two, I only follow the people that I find interesting, just like all those people found me interesting. So, and here's the other thing. I don't believe that anybody can actually follow as many people as some people have as followers. They have to use some sort of filtering system, some sort of way to screen out the stuff that just takes up, too much space. And I'll also unfollow friends who tweet so much that it pushes down all the rest of the responses on TweetDeck or on Twitterific, whatever I'm using on my iPhone. I just don't find that many people all that interesting. And I can't possibly go and have a career as an actor and a career as a voice talent and do the things that I do, and also go and check out everybody on Twitter to find out whether they're interesting and follow them like that. I just don't have that time. Here's what I do, though, for Zena Weist.
You said do.
Here's what I do. I ask everybody how they followed me, why they followed me, how they found me on Twitter, and so on. And I can tell you that the number one reason over the last week was you, Joel. I mean, certainly a lot of people say, I saw you on Heroes, or I used to listen to your radio show, or somebody recommended you, but then you have been responsible for the vast preponderance of people following me this past week. And you also, people don't know this, but you also were the one that finally got me off the dime and said, go get on Twitter.
You were squashing that dime. You needed to get off of it.
Well, here's the thing. I've been doing technology since the late 70s, actually since the early 70s. I was a mainframe guy. I was, an IBM 360, 370 guy, job control language, big, huge decks of cards, line printers, PDP-8s, PDP-11s, all the way through the personal computer revolution. I did a radio show about this for 20 years. And I have seen time and time again things presented technology-wise that have broken my heart and have broken your heart. Everybody who's into gadgets has a drawer filled with ones that they don't use, some that are still in the box. So I always kind of hang back and I wait and I see whether it's going to take. And I think I caught the wave right when it started to be very much in the mainstream. And I think it's going to stick. I think it's one of these technologies that will be around for a long time. So now was the time for me to be on, and in a matter of a couple of months, you helped and Heroes helped and all that. I've got 3,000 followers. I'm shocked. I'm amazed. And I just put out a new video on the whole SAG thing, and I tweeted it, and within 30 seconds, I had 87 views.
Amazing.
So obviously people are paying attention. They're clicking over on links and stuff. And I really do think that it's not one of those fakey kind of, it's a good story, so the mainstream media follows it. I think it really has substance and heft. And I see some other things coming up on the horizon, the 12 Seconds guys and the Utterly guys. I think they have an interesting take on sound and video in the Twit space, sort of shortened, very compact things. So I think there's a lot going on. So.
Yeah, there really is. Hey, have you seen Bubble Tweet yet?
I haven't. I'm not, and it used to be like this when I was on the radio. Oh yeah, sure, I've seen that. What's Bubble Tweet? Give me something on Bubble Tweet. What is Bubble?
Well,
no.
If you know 12 Seconds, Bubble Tweet is actually video integration with Twitter. So just go on there, shoot a quick Bubble Tweet, paste the URL into your tweet, and it actually opens your video on Twitter in a little bubble, boop, like that. It's very cool.
Oh, I see. So you don't even need 12 Seconds. I mean, I have 12 Seconds feeding my Twitter feed right now. I use Twitter feed for my blog and my YouTube videos and for the radio show, the best ofs that have been doled out.
David,
yes.
Who got you on Twitter?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. The prosecution rests his case. So we were talking. Thank you for that rant. It was lovely, well thought out, and
you need coffee, man. You're sitting there and you're wearing your brown shirt. Like, who dresses you,
dude? It's hot.
I'm looking. I understand that, but you're like wearing a shirt that 1978 called. They want their shirt back.
It says it's Australia. I bought it in Sydney when I was there last summer. Cut me some slack, Jack.
An Australian in 1978 called, and he wants his shirt back.
You scare me. You frighten me. I mean, I tuned in a little bit and saw some clips of you on Heroes, and you are freaky creepy.
I am creepy. Who thought? I mean, my biggest fear when I got this part is like, oh my God, the fans are gonna hate me, because it's this show that's just filled with beautiful people. I mean, when I first started watching it, I thought, I will never get on this show. These people are all models, But when I got it, my biggest fear was that somebody would say, oh yeah, that Eric Doyle, yeah, he's not creepy, he's chubby.
Yes.
That's what I said about this show.
But it turns out that's not the case. It turns out that, and they've given me some really nice, for those of you that have tweeted over the last few weeks, I can actually tell you now that, yes, I'm coming back this volume, starting on March 2nd, a series of episodes. And then this weekend, I am shooting, they have these online webisodes. The first one of which was Going Postal, and then they had The Recruit, and now they're going to be doing Nowhere Man. And I've never told anybody that that's the title of it, so you're getting an exclusive right here. It's called Nowhere Man, and it's the story of what happens to me after the final episode of this season, which is really cool. And I like get to save a damsel in distress.
Wow.
I have a love interest. What the hell? So yeah, it's awesome.
Is she as scary as you?
No, she's really cute.
Wow.
She's really cute. It's played by Amy Sloan. You can go on IMDb and look her up. Cute redhead. And for those of you that are into the show, if you go back and check out Company Man, which was one of the most popular episodes in Season 1, it was all about HRG and how he became part of the whole deal, and him going and working at Copy Kingdom, which was a copy place, sort of undercover. There was a real jerk of a manager there, and he makes a reappearance in my webisode. So I'm very excited about it. If you told me a year ago at this time, hey, next year around now, you're going to be known around the world as one of the creepiest villains ever on Heroes. You're going to be going to London and signing autographs. You're going to be, you're going to be in 8 of the episodes during the season. People are going to just love you. I'd say, awesome. When do we start? But I'd also think you're crazy.
You're off your nut. Yeah.
Yeah, you're off your nut. So
no, but I remember you pursuing this.
I can tell you that Twitter. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I can tell you that Twitter has had a big impact.
Yeah.
And I thank you for helping me stay connected to the fans. A lot of the people on the show Twitter, Greg Grunberg Twitters at Greg Grunberg, at Bria Grant, who plays Daphne, she Twitters. We now have James, who does our props. He's Twittering. One of the makeup women, Wendy, she's doing it at Wendy Lynn Makeup. She does Twitters and stuff. And James Kyson Lee, he's on. It's just become sort of like this little thing. In between scenes, you see everybody banging away on their iPhones or on their Blackberries, twittering about what's going on.
Yeah, it really is an amazing thing. By the way, people in the Ustream room, Anime Jen says David Lawrence changed my life. I guess you spoke.
The hell is that?
You spoke to a person at a podcast conference in 07.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they said that you really had an impact. Somebody here says I don't even watch the show, but I already love you. So you're just like a big cuddly teddy bear with evil tendencies.
Awesome.
So let me ask you a question.
Go get a hotel room and trash it. Come on, let's go.
Hey, so do you guys ever allow anybody on the set to watch filming?
Yeah. I've actually brought some friends down. I've had some family members down. When my kids came to visit me, they live in D.C. with their mom and their stepdad. When they came to visit in December and January, I wanted to take them down, but we were on hiatus. But we traveled. We walked around the studio and we looked at the sets and that kind of stuff. There wasn't anything going on. But yeah, I have people come down. I invite people down for dinner. They're really nice that way. When you're a part of the family there, they know that it's a really popular situation.
Okay.
And for the most part, what I try to do is invite as many good-looking women to the set as possible.
Okay,
you know
that totally rules me out, but do I get an invitation
You're not
extended?
allowed. You are absolutely not allowed.
Blast!
Oh. You need to wear a much lower cut shirt, my friend.
Send you a hero sandwich.
There it is. Yeah, Dan says we'll send you a hero sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. Well, I'm really impressed with what you've done, and I got to update you on something. You know, when we were doing the Next Internet Millionaire, you faithfully had me on almost every week to discuss each episode, and you were really engaged in the show. And
absolutely.
And I really appreciate that. And I want you to know that there's a couple cable networks, which you would easily recognize, that have the show in their possession and are considering doing something with it.
Okay, if you don't include me somehow as a host or a co-host or a goofball sidekick or something in this show, you and I are going to have words.
Okay, does that mean I get the invite to the set?
Yes, you get the invite to the set, all right?
The day off.
Awesome, and Dan gets the day off.
Excellent.
So. It's a virtual deal, and we got it recorded here on the Ustream forever for all to see, so it's almost a handshake.
Oy.
Well, listen, I'm really thrilled at your success, and your schedule's probably nuts now, huh?
Well, are you trying to get rid of me? Because
No,
I'll go
no.
if you want me to go.
No, I want you to stay.
How much time do I have here? Am I like? Do I have to like quickly get all my plugs in before we go to the? Who's the next guest? When is he gonna be on?
We got 10 minutes to the top of the hour, and you can stay with us until then.
All right,
Love
cool.
to have you. I'll tell you who's next, though. Dom Segola, who I believe is already in the chat room with us, is next. Dom is Twitterer number 8, and he's going to tell us how Twitter was born, followed by the one, the only, the incomparable MC Hammer. And it's going to be Hammer Time. And
it is Hammer Time.
We're going to close out the show with a brilliant woman who is a legal expert for CNBC, Alexis Martin Neely. And then we're all going to just go to sleep right here on the set because that'll be 12 hours. And let's face it, enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Hey, could whoever's running the stream go back and see if I missed any questions? Because I like to get those. I always like to make sure if somebody asks a question.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take the questions right now. Do you guys have questions for David Lawrence? We got him here for the next 8 to 10 minutes. And if you got questions for him, let's let him go. By the way, David, thanks again for contributing 100 of these Water is Life water straws for a very good cause.
Yeah, that's like, 5 minutes work for me on the show, so whatever.
Awesome. Let's see. This one person wants to know if you're MC Hammer.
I am not.
No, you are not. Come on, guys.
I am not. I was I was, but I am not.
There is a store in what's it say?
Seattle. Yeah, the David Lawrence. It's a clothing store.
Oh, really?
And I actually own a couple of the ties. It's a really nice place. There's also David Lawrence Rare Coins. They're the ones that got DavidLawrence.com. And I tried to do a deal with them a couple of times. They didn't want to know from me. They don't know that I'm on television. I could bring them people, but that's all right.
Have you, Nate Tron asks, did you ask the Heroes cast to donate?
They all know about this. I tried to get Greg and Bria, but they're actually filming, so they couldn't be on. So, and I'm also seeing Quicksilver 2012 saying motivational phrase or word. What can we learn from me?
Yeah.
Here's something that I've heard a lot lately, and that is, what are you doing here? I got that when I would volunteer to run casting sessions for the same people that I used to intern for before I got Heroes. I would just go help them out, and all the actors that would come in, I would know most of them. And they would go, what are you doing here? And what am I doing here? I'm continuing to be persistent, to network with my potential customers. All the stuff that I learned online, I've applied to my acting career, and it has paid off for me in spades. So always ask yourself the question when you walk through the door, what am I doing here? Don't spin your wheels. Don't sit there and have fun when you should be working, or be working when you should have fun. Answer the question, what am I doing here? Get it all squared away, and you're good to go.
What am I doing here?
You are, let's be serious. You're raising money for a great cause, and you're promoting your book.
And I'm going to be flinging a monkey. Now that you can see the Ustream, you can actually appreciate the value of the flying monkey.
The red cape.
And this is a red-caped flying monkey. And here he goes. 3, 2, 1. Oh, score! That was a good one.
I had to duck.
No, that was a monkey, not a duck. They want to know why I'm not giving away the monkeys. These are very valuable monkeys.
Anybody actually watching the feed for questions?
Yeah, I'm actually watching it right now.
You are, but you're also talking to me, and you're flinging monkeys.
We're getting questions like, what's your favorite shampoo?
Yeah, what's your favorite shampoo?
My favorite shampoo is actually something like the combination shampoo and body wash from Gillette.
Nice.
Because there's times when I actually do have hair. Especially, Eric is sort of rough-shaven. He's not a clean-shaven guy. So, that's it.
Okay, so Chris Brisson wants to know, how'd you build your acting career using Twitter?
I haven't built my acting career using Twitter, but I certainly have built a rapport with my fan base and with other people on the show. I've become better friends with Greg Grunberg and with Bria via Twitter, and certainly met some great, great people, some wonderful men and women all around the world, and made some great relationships, and it's been both a personal and a professional joy for me to do that.
Hey, hook us up with the marketing team there, and let us talk to them about building an iPhone app for Heroes. Wouldn't that be cool?
I think they already are working on a couple of them. So
missed it by that much.
I understand.
Hey, you know what I never saw? Saw, was it Wallace? Was that the name of the film?
My Name is Wallace, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you never saw that?
No, you were going to send me a DVD, and I never got one.
I will make sure I will correct that instantly.
That was like your leap. Did that help you then get? No?
Didn't help me at all. I'll tell you, Wallace didn't help me. I don't think they saw Wallace, but talk about, you think, okay, we do these student films and we do independent so that we can get acting under our belts and so that we can, really understand how to work on a set and make our mistakes there rather than, on the set of Heroes. And what got me the audition for Heroes was a student film that I did called Sideshow Attraction. It's actually on my reel, and it says it was me dressed up as a ringmaster of a circus. And they thought, well, hell, if he'll do that and wear the eye makeup and all that, maybe we can bring him in as a villain. And that's what got me the thing. So there we go.
And when you went and auditioned, did you just nail it?
It was one of the most exciting moments of my life. I felt good in other auditions, but when I walked away, I had, just as I ended my audition, I watched a woman who was just off camera shudder. And I thought, wow, I either totally creeped her out, which would have been a good thing for the character, or she just is disgusted by me and wanted to get out of the room as quickly as possible. Turns out I creeped her out, and it turns out she was the head of casting for NBC.
Oh, wow. Well, Dan's over here shuddering, but I'm thinking it was the beans that we had for dinner. So
could be. You never know.
I'm not quite sure.
Hey,
beans. They're saying on the stream that I could be the next Larry King.
Yes, they are, aren't they?
That's not exactly a compliment. Here, let me throw.
Tonight on the tweet-a-thon, we're going to talk with Joel Comm. Ask your questions. Wichita, you're on with Joel Comm. Because these days he's much more reserved. It's more like, Wichita, you're on with Joel Comm.
Well, the Geritol's kicking in, so
Thank you so much.
that was really good, David.
Thank you.
David Lawrence, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your generous donation to Water is Life, and I'm going to take you up on that visit to the set when I'm
You
in
bet.
LA, and if
And
next
I'm going to
Internet
take you
Millionaire,
up on co-hosting your show.
dude, next Internet Millionaire goes on, we will find some way. I mean, I don't know what, but maybe you could be an extra.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me?
Are you talking to me? Oh, he's doing this now with his hands. Wait, stop! Keep! No!
Perfect.
Oh man.
Hey,
I still got it. Everybody.
you do. Hey, man, I appreciate you, David. Thanks a lot. Good to talk to you.
Thanks.
And,
My pleasure.
Until next time, God bless.
Thank you.